SJ, and here's your host, Sarah Jo.
Hi, and welcome to Sweet Treats with SJ. Today's show, we're going to make chocolate cake. So let's go ahead and get started. So first I'm going to start off with mixing all my dry ingredients. So I have 2 cups of sugar. I'm going to dump that right in. Oh, that's a lot of sugar. All right. Then I'm going to take 1 3/4 cup of flour. And just dump that in as well. And then I'm going to take my 3/4 cup of cocoa. Then I'm going to add 1 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder and 1 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. All right, I'm going to just go ahead and mix that. Kind of blend the sugar and the flour. I'm just kind of getting this nice little rich chocolate cocoa-y blend before I add all my wet ingredients. So you can kind of see here it's a little darker with the cocoa and the sugar. Just mix it. All right. Now I'm going to take all my wet ingredients and I'm going to mix them. So I have my eggs, vegetable oil, milk, and then we'll wait and add the water later. And we also have vanilla extract. So I'm going to take my 2 eggs. I'm going to add that in there. And this recipe is perfect for any occasion, a birthday party, get together. Sometimes if you feel like you're having a bad day and you just want to make a cake for yourself, no judging. We're going to add our 1 cup of milk. All right. And then our teaspoon of vanilla extract. And like I said, we're just going to go ahead and hold off on the water. I'm going to take my hand mixer here, make sure it works. Oh yeah, perfect. I'm going to sit in there. I'm just going to start blending it. All right. You see here? Just kind of blending it. We don't want to make sure and eliminate any clumps of like the flour. Otherwise it makes the cake kind of lumpy, and when you bite into it after it's cooked, it'll taste really weird. Okay. Keep mixing it. Takes a good bit because you want to make sure and get all of it mixed. Okay. And right now, so you can see, it's kind of thick. So that's when the water comes in. So we're going to add a cup of our boiling water. Sit that there. Cup of our hot water. And I'm not going to dump it in all at once. I'm just going to slowly pour it in. Okay, so add a little bit at a time because you just don't want to kind of freak the batter out, I guess. It has feelings too, don't you know? All right. Just going to kind of start blending it in. It looks kind of soupy. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit more in. Once again, just don't add all of it in at once. You just want to maintain consistency with the batter. Okay. All right, well, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. But when we get back, I'm going to show you how to make the icing. I'm going to go ahead and put the cakes in the oven.
Ugh, this history test is gonna kill me. I'd much rather solve a math equation over this.
I know. I wish there was something that could help us understand this material better.
Have y'all tried brain chew? Chewing a piece of this really helps me focus.
Sure. Okay, so when was the Spanish-American War?
Wouldn't it be 1898?
Hey, I think that's right.
Brain chew.
Hi, and welcome back to Sweet Treats with SJ. Before the break, I went through the step process of how to mix the batter with adding our dry ingredients and our wet ingredients. As you can see here, I've already baked the cake and it turned out perfect. A couple reminders, it's very important that you grease or flour, follow the directions to make sure when you take the cake out that you don't want it to stick. See, I forgot to do that last night. So you see how it's stuck in there? It's because I didn't grease it. But as you can see in this lovely displayed one, I fixed it out. I figured it out. Another thing, this is a 9-inch round cake pan. You're going to want to bake this at 350 degrees, 350 degrees for 30 to 35 minutes. And it's very important to cool the cakes for about 10 minutes to make sure that when you put the frosting on, if it's still, the cakes are still warm, it's just going to melt the frosting. And it's a nightmare. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with our frosting. So I have here just some ingredients. I have vanilla extract, let's see, a cup of milk, 6 tablespoons of butter, and a blend of cocoa powder and powdered sugar. So what it's going to ask first, we're going to add 6 tablespoons of butter. So here it has to be softened, not melted. So I'm going to add the butter into my bowl. I'm going to take my hand mixer and I'm just going to start to cream the butter. You want it really smooth, a good consistency. Set this aside. So just going to kind of cream it. As you see here, I'm just kind of creaming it. Make it really soft. The reason why we do this, it makes it easier for our flour, our sugar and cocoa blend. It'll just make it easier and it's not as thick and crumbly. Right. See? All right. Next, we're going to add in our 2 cups and 1/3 cup of powdered sugar and cocoa blend. See here on the top. I'm just going to add it in. Ooh. Okay. And then we're just going to start blending it. As you can see, it's starting to get a little thicker. As we see, hasn't started getting like really chocolatey, that color yet, because we haven't added our wet ingredients of the milk and the vanilla extract. But I just wanted to start blending it, and with the butter, turn it to a lower setting. So it kind of gets. All right. Now I'm going to add in our 1/3 cup of milk. Okay, just add that in. You can add it in all at once. Then I'm going to take our vanilla, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and I'm going to add that in as well. Come on. Oh, here we go. Dump it in. Perfect. Then I'm going to start to blend it. And this is when the batter is going to just start, or the frosting is going to start to all come together. This takes a bit of time because you want to get your frosting the right consistency. And when you're blending it, you really kind of want it to kind of peak. So you can see right here, it's starting to go and kind of thicken up and get to the right texture. Some fun things, this is a chocolate buttercream frosting, but you can do other fun things with it. Add sprinkles, just whatever you want. But thank you so much. I'm going to finish frosting this, put it on my cake for tonight's event.